The buzzer of your car is kind of a small thing that you don't really realize until you actually need it. When you start the car up, you hear that beep. Well, in the mr2, that sounds like crap. This is my Yaris. It sounds good. Okay, so we're going to try to replace the mr2 buzzer with something that's more modern like the Yaris. So let's go ahead and analyze the Yaris buzzer sound. Okay, you saw that it was at 1945 hertz and it was about 64 decibels. So when you're looking online, you got to look for something like that or whatever you like, really. If you like something more high pitch, then go right ahead. But let's go ahead and look at the frequencies, the sounds real quick. I have this app. All right, so let's go ahead and just do sine wave. And we're going to go up to, let's do 2000 hertz, right? So something around here. So that's 2000, pretty annoying, right? Any more, it really gets annoying. So pick what you want. It's really hard to find anything under 2000. So I don't know if you could hear me there, but it's really hard to find anything under 2000. So let's go ahead and tear into the mr2 now. So here we are in the car. We're going to remove this panel. I've already removed the screws here just to speed things up. So this panel has two screws, one right here, one right here. They're just Phillips heads. And in order to remove this, you kind of just pop it off right here, and then down here it slides out from underneath this trim right here. You just place that somewhere. Alright, now we have, this is our buzzer assembly here, and to remove it, you're going to remove this 10mm bolt right here, and the whole assembly comes off. So 10mm. And make sure the bolt doesn't fall down the hole. So just do the hand towards the end there, and then here's your buzzer. So just to keep the bolt safe, I'm going to thread it back in. I recommend you do too. It's a good practice to keep everything safe. And then here's our buzzer assembly. To get it off, you push down and it comes right out. And you want to take the switch out when you have the buzzer off, because you can't do it while it's in there. You'll bend the tab or you break these tabs right here. So all right, now we're going to move on to tearing into this thing. So here we got the switch out on the bench. We're going to go ahead and pop this back cover off. And to do this, you're going to want some thin object like this. You're going to place it into this area right here where there's extra plastic. And you're just going to want to pop it off. Don't go too deep or you'll mess up the chip. And there you go. It pops right off. And just so you know, where this is right here, there is, let's see, there are 4 locations where those tabs get held in. So if you're having any trouble, they're right there. Alright, so now we're going to take this chip out. To do that, just push on that, and here is the chip. Now, yours will look a little different, basically just without this stuff on it right here. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do. So all this chip does is it tells if the door is open, if the car is on the ignition, the on position, if the door is open, and yeah, that's really about it. There's just some other positions right here that I'm not sure of. It's like a pulsation when it's weird. All I know is door and ACC. So that's why we have these 6 contacts right here. So we're just going to piggyback off this old buzzer, and we're going to use the 12 volts that come off of it. So this contact right here is negative, and this contact right here is positive. And you're going to want to get a 12 volt piezoelectric buzzer, and I just have mine wired up here. And then this is just some kind of foam tape to keep it a little quieter, because the piezo is pretty brutal by itself. So that's easy if you know how to solder. Shouldn't be too hard. So that's how you do that, and I'll show you the result here in a second. Oh, actually, I almost forgot to mention, this tab right here that you attach the positive to, you're going to want to bend it back so it doesn't touch this resonator right here. See that this thing that bends? That's what causes the buzz. So if you don't want it to buzz with this thing, you got to bend this back. So we're just going to button this back up now, make sure nothing's in the way. You got to make sure your wires are all clean. So something like this should be good. So there's no weird binding going on. And we're just going to place this in. This is really arbitrary how you put it in. This, you got to make sure the tabs line up. So not too, it's 50-50. So there, it's snapped in. So now we're good to put the buzzer back in. All right, so since we got all the buzzer stuff worked out, we're just going to go ahead and give it a quick test. You want to make sure you test anything before you finally install it. So let's go ahead and make sure this works. So we're going to go ahead and turn the ignition on. So we got to test three things here. We got to test if it turns on when the key's in the ignition, when we turn the ignition to the ACC, and if it turns off after 10 seconds after being on ACC. All right, so that's test one. You can hear it's a lot nicer sound. It's more modern. The other buzzer sounds really bad. Sounds like it's about to die at any second. Okay, so we're on ACC now. Fuel pump is on. It should cut out here. There it goes. So it works. Give your MR2 a little modern touch. It sounds a little better in my opinion. And then let's test it with the door. Go ahead and close the door. And it turned off. And there it is. So it is annoying, but it serves a purpose. Don't leave your keys in your car. Alright, so that's how you change your buzzer out to something more modern and less crappy. Thanks for watching.